Hey guys, Anime Gypsy here with a My Hero Academia, Boku no Hero Academia discussion video. Now, this is your first and only warning for you anime only watchers to scram before a massive load, a raging load of spoilers is sprung your way. Alright? This is your first and only warning. Five, four, three, two, one. All right. Eri is a character with the ability to rewind. Yeah, and I get your concern, but I just don't think that she'll have full control over her ability, because if she does, that means deaths are pointless. That means All Might will be able to get his power back, and that means that she'd probably be the most overpowered. No, she would be the most overpowered character in the series. That does include All Might and Endeavor. Now, will she be able to control her powers fully? No, she will not. She is a prepubescent child with barely any experience using her quirk. So no, she will not be able to control her quirk or her power. It just won't happen. At least not now. And even when it does, there will most likely be limitations. Because every single character in Boku no Hero Academia has limitations. Let me run a list for you, okay? That rookie guy that was introduced in the latest chapter, he had to touch someone and inhale the same air as them before sucking their vitality. The new girl that we got into, the new girl from the academy, one of the top three, she uses her plasma, her energy, but at the she releases energy, but at the expense of her own energy. So whenever she releases energy, she gets tired. Similar to Naruto's chakra type deal, you know. You have Eraserhead, Aizawa Senpai, who needs to look at you when he needs to have eye contact while erasing your work. And even then, he gets dry eye, so he needs to blink occasionally. So that's a limitation. Two, you have Red Riot, who could harden, but only for a limited amount of time. You have Sugar Man, who could obtain superhuman strength, but only for a limited amount of time, relating to the sugar he is eaten, and just I could go on and on with every single character, and even characters with few limitations, like Cementos. Those characters, their abilities are not overpowered, but most of their power comes from the fact that we have almost no limitation for them established. But most likely they do have a limitation, and even if they don't, you could find someone extremely powerful that could beat them, like Endeavor or President Mike. And even then, every character in the series has a weakness. Some are established, some aren't. But just because we don't know what Aries' weaknesses are, don't doesn't mean that she doesn't have any weakness. It just doesn't. When we first met All Might, we didn't know that it took only a little bit of time before he could transform back. We found that out in the first few chapters. The first chapter, we didn't know that at all, or the first episode. When we met Aizawa, we didn't know that he had to blink. We didn't know he had to look at someone for taking their quirk. When we met, I could go on with that, guys. My point is, Boku no Hero Academia is known for setting limits. That's one thing they're good with, setting limits for characters. Even overpowered characters have certain limits. And the trick is you have to train in order to make yourself stronger, and that's something that My Hero Academia establishes. Every single character needs to train a bunch before, becoming a certain level of strong. Even strong quirks need to be strengthened through training. Keep that in mind. Now, Eri, in my perspective, will not be able to bring people back to life. I think that's a limitation. Because if she does, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. I I think that with her specifically, she could bring people back to better health if they're impaled but not dead yet. But if a character is dead, I don't think she'd be able to bring them back to life, because then death would literally be meaningless in the series, and that would be bad for the overall series, and this author is smarter than that. Now, I'm not sure if I'm not sure if Night Eye is going to recover, because this guy was straight up impaled. Overhaul pulled a Vlad on him. Overall, straight up pulled a Vlad on him, impaled him straight up. So I'm not sure how that's gonna go. And in terms of Eri versus Overhaul, no, not gonna work. Overhaul is a very well-trained character. He's established as one of the strongest villains in the series. I'd say Overhaul is probably the fourth strongest villain in the series. And you know, it's that simple. It just won't work. He is well trained, and the thing is that from what we understand with her, a lot of times she needs to focus to activate her quirk. If it's not accidental, she needs to touch someone. She can. It's not something along the lines of everyone that touches her gets affected by her quirk, because we had characters like Luminium and Izuku Midoriya touch her, and they were not affected in the slightest. So in a way, she needs to focus on the quirk, and that in and of itself is a limitation, but I don't think it is going to be the only limitation. Now, judging, this is all I could say about her, because we have a limited amount of information on her. But overall, I think she's going to be an important character going forward, and I don't think she's going to be as overpowered and grossly. I don't think she's going to be as grossly overpowered as most people think. And if you guys agree with me or disagree with me, just list the reasons why you do down below in the comments. And I will be, by the way, I will have a link down below for a theory video I made about the relationship between All For One and Eri. And if you are curious, like, how is this possible? Take a look at the link and judge for yourself if I'm right or wrong. And until next time, guys, this is Anime Gypsy, and I'm out.